Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Kia, also known as Confidently Kia on Instagram, and I have a nice little chat for you today. Let's start by, on this channel we talk about lifestyle, fashion, motherhood, and if I'm being honest, anything else I would like to chat about because I'm enjoying chatting. Okay, so whatever comes up will come out. But today's conversation is about motherhood. I am 5 years in. And while it has taken me some time to actually sit with having a 5 year old, I feel like I want to talk to you about like my journey, my experiences, some lessons learned, some things I did early on to try my best to give my child the life that I wanted him to have, and not focusing on the material, but emotionally giving him what I wanted him to have. And so that started with me. Before we start that, if you have not subscribed, what you waiting on? If you are already subscribed, go ahead and click the notification, the bell, so you'll know when I'm back. Okay, I plan to be back every week, but just click the notification bell so you will be notified when your girl makes an upload. Okay, enough of that. So, starting with, I have a 5 year old, and it has been a whirlwind of emotions that I've not communicated to anybody. And if I'm being honest, I'm gonna try my best not to cry right here. If you don't know, I had my baby during COVID. So I was 36 when I had my son, and COVID happened. We were in the midst of COVID, and there were a lot of things that I felt like I was missing out on, even during pregnancy, right? I felt like I didn't get to do a mommy or a belly photo shoot. I was scared. I was scared to be amongst anybody who was sick so I wouldn't get sick, and so I couldn't pass it all to my mama, who definitely cannot get sick, right? So we didn't do that. I wasn't able to go out and dress up because we were stuck at the house. We were on quarantine, right? There were positives and negatives about it. And I will say, for the most part, unfortunately, a lot of it was positive during COVID. I was able to bond with my belly. Let's start there. I was able to bond with my belly. It was just me and the belly. Well, obviously, I was able to bond with my belly, but I did a lot of research, and some of my research included social media. And while social media to some people it depends on how you use it. Okay, social media for me during the time of pregnancy and after giving after giving birth was a blessing. It was a blessing because I wasn't able to have my community physically with me, right? And most of the people in my community, like my age, my friends my age, did not have kids. And so while I could get advice or listen to their experiences, I didn't have a whole lot to go off of. But social media kind of allowed a larger community. While I still don't physically know these people, there were things and suggestions and kind of people showing their lives after motherhood that helped me when it came to basics like what to feed my child, baby-led weaning, something as small as what kind of diapers to purchase. Because I was never a kid person, right? I didn't change diapers. I didn't babysit nobody's child. If me and your child cool, and me and your child cool. But other than that, I was never around babies. So knowing what kind of diapers to get, I don't know. Do they hold pee? Do they hold poop? And there's a difference. And I remember watching, I don't know how I got to, there's a creator, her name is OHK. She had twins. I have no idea how I got to her page, but randomly one day in a conversation, she mentioned Costco had the best diapers. Well, the diapers I was using, which were Pampers, I wasn't fond of, but I had no idea. I mean, I could have gone to Huggies, but other than that, I ain't know to go to Costco. I went to Costco and we were buying Costco diapers for the rest of his diaper experience. Best diapers out there, if I'm being honest. But I wouldn't have known that had I not been engaging in my social media community, right? Social media also introduced things like gentle parenting. And gentle parenting was an idea that I was gung-ho about because I wanted to give my child the gentle parent I didn't have. Okay? But through experience, I realized gentle parenting is for gentle kids. And these kids ain't gentle. And while we were introduced to gentle parenting, I decided to not gentle parent and to just be intentional about my parenting, right? I had experienced quite a bit postpartum wise where I just saw a lot of women. I came in touch with a lot of women who were mothers who were experiencing an array of things. And I was new in the game, right? So let's back. I had my baby. I went back to work. We were still quarantined. So I was able to bond over a year with my child without any interruption, without any from anybody else, right? And that is the blessing that I am 1000% grateful for. Because typically you don't get that. Not in America. Not if you're wealthy maybe, but we ain't there. So typically I would have had to go back into an office after 6 weeks, or let's say 12 weeks, because I took 12 weeks of maternity leave. After my maternity leave, I was still at home with my baby, bonding with my child, experiencing motherhood. The downside to it was nobody could come in my house. Nobody could share that experience with me but me, baby, and daddy. That's it. And so that was a little hard, but we made it work. And we developed a relationship with our child that is like, I don't think it would be the way that it is if it were not for that experience. And so forever grateful for that. However, postpartum kicked my ass. I could tear up right now. It kicked my ass. I had no idea what I was going to experience. Ooh, don't cry. After giving birth. I went back to work in an extremely toxic environment. When I tell you I ain't hated nothing before in my life except that place. And it got to a point I thought I was going to literally lose my mind. And because I knew I had a baby, that couldn't happen. That couldn't happen. And at this point was the pivotal point in my life where I was like, okay, Kia, you have to figure this out for you and your child. You want to be there emotionally, physically. You want to be there mentally for your baby. But if you ain't got it all, your baby can't get none. At that moment, I said, FMLA, take me out. I went to my therapist. We discussed it. pull me out, sis, pull me out. And when she pulled me out, I went to treatment. I went to treatment for depression and anxiety because that place was literally damn near killing me. Group sessions happened. I was in treatment for, I think, 6 weeks. And it was probably the best experience of my life because I was going through a lot, but the people around me were going through a lot. And every morning in group, we would go around, discuss our day. Like there was a template kind of that we would feel like how are we feeling today? What emotion are we having? There were like 5 things, right? And I still have my booklet to this day. And every day I was able to express my emotion, my feeling. Like I could put words to it because I was being taught to do so. I was also in a space where I felt comfortable and safe to do so. And then there were days that I didn't have it in me, and I don't have nothing to say today. I can't tell you how I'm feeling today, but I'm here and I'm present, right? I'm going to receive whatever I need to receive. During the 6 weeks in treatment, I was able to see a lot of, I saw a lot of people, but I heard a lot of stories that that only solidified that I was doing the right thing for me. I heard a lot of stories from mothers who literally had just lost themselves. Like they had lost themselves and mentally they weren't there and they couldn't be there for their kids. A lot of them, kids weren't with them, literally taken away from them or no relationship with them because something happened. And while every day I listen to these stories and I'm trying my best to not, be down on myself because I was doing it for a good reason and I needed it. I always looked at something else and was like, you know what? I don't want that life. And no judgment to that life. I don't want to be in the game, meaning in the motherhood game, 10, 20 years from now, regretting that I didn't address what I should have addressed when my baby was an infant or when I knew that something wasn't right, right? And at that moment, I felt proud of myself because on the outside, people would judge, not my friends, not my family. But on the outside, if people knew that I had gone to treatment, the assumption, there would be a whole lot of assumptions, probably wrong assumptions. And one, I didn't give a shit about those assumptions. But for me, I knew that I needed to do it for me, right? So motherhood started with having a baby, going to treatment. We got to address these traumas. I have to figure out how to communicate. Like, while I had been in therapy before having a child, something about before having a child made it different. And while I'm not perfect, I have the tools. And I was intentional about grabbing them. It's just like, give me all the tools so I can figure this out, right? So, boom, we have the tools, we in treatment, we out of treatment. Now it's applying the tools to deal with the people on the outside. The people in the circle that I was dealing with for 6 weeks, either the therapist or my classmates, like, we were all getting the same information. But now I have to figure out how to apply it outside, right? And I still have to go to this toxic job because once the FMLA is over, I got to head back. Now I got to figure out how to deal with these people. How I'm going to use these tools in this toolbox to deal with these people, along with be there for my child and my family emotionally. And I want to be present, right? So COVID, while it was a very trying time for a lot of people, very sad time, for me, it allowed me to bond. It allowed me to be introduced to motherhood a bit slowly. And for that, I'm grateful. So after COVID is over, now my child is growing. And everybody has an opinion about what you're doing and how you're doing it, and this ain't right and that ain't right. And while I've always been a person, it's so easy for me to say no and to advocate for myself. That has never been one of my challenges in life. I now have a little one that I have to do the same for. I also have a little one that nobody gave me a book on how to do this. And nobody else gave anybody else a book either, if I'm being honest. So all of their opinions and their thoughts and miss me with them, right? And trying my best not to be rude, but also letting people know that this is mine. Okay? And if I don't ask for the advice, I don't want it. I don't care who feelings I hurt. I don't want it. Because whatever you saying don't mean it's right. It just means you think it's right. Unless this baby is over here thriving, growing, crawling, walking, and everything. The doctor say he good. So I think I'm doing a good job. So all your opinions, keep them to yourself. I had to communicate that to loved ones, and it didn't go over very well. The first time, the second time, hell, at this point, it still ain't going over well. But guess what? That's on you. That ain't on me. Keep your opinions to yourself until I ask for the advice. Okay? Motherhood has been a whirlwind, an exciting whirlwind. And when I tell you I'm so grateful to have had a child in my late 30s, and I'm 40. I'll be 41 this year, and my child is 5 years old. And I have friends or people I went to school with who have grown children, who have grandkids. And here we are, the geriatric parents at 40-something raising toddlers. And it's the best shit ever. It's the best shit ever because I wasn't starting my career and having a little one and trying to figure out a schedule and ask for a whole bunch of help because financially I couldn't do it or my schedule wouldn't allow it. And I'm not at that stage of my career, right? Motherhood would have been a little different had I had my child in my early 20s. Even now, being so comfortable with who I am and exuding that confidence and my child watching, it's a different feeling. It's a different feeling when I know who I am and I'm teaching him those exact same things. Be confident in who you are. It doesn't mean that I couldn't have done it in my 20s, but at 40, all bets off. Okay? At 40, I am having a toddler at 40 is pushing me more than I think it would have pushed me back in my 20s. It is pushing me to always try my best to be a healthier me. It is pushing me to, even on my bad days, still being there emotionally for a child who shows emotion unlike myself. I have not I'm not an emotional person. I mean, I have emotions, but I'm not a person that expresses a lot of emotion. My child, on the other hand, emotions through the roof. And I want to be the parent that can cater to those emotions, that can listen and support him when he's not having the best of days. Even at 5, he's human, right? And whatever happened at pre-K may have caused him to have a slightly rough day. I want to be there to support him for that. While we may find it very small and minuscule, to a 5-year-old, when somebody was being mean to him, let's talk about it. Doing things differently than my mama did for me. And it's not that the intention wasn't there. It's simply that a lot of our parents did not know they weren't healed. They had not addressed traumas. So they didn't know how to show up for us emotionally. I knew the moment that I found out I was pregnant, that was something that I wanted to do. And so while I don't show a lot of emotion and affection for my child, you wouldn't know it. I'm giving all the hugs and kisses and love and all of it. Give it to me, and I'm gonna give it back, because I want you to feel it. If this is how you show me love, let me show you love back. Let me give this back to you. And I'm intentional about doing it because there are things that have happened in my life where I am standoffish. And because I'm the strong person, I don't necessarily always get that kind of support from some people. Ooh, that's going to start a fire. Motherhood has been great. I am grateful for being able to have community to support me during this journey of motherhood. I reach out. My community, my village is so strong. And I would suggest to anybody, anywhere, to lean on the people that love you most. Because raising a child, you can't do it alone. And I'm not talking about a 2-parent household and all of that. I'm talking about literally grandmas, grandpas, aunties, uncles, cousins. You need all of them. All of them. You need to be able to reach out. You need to be able to, you need to have people that can hold space for you. Vice versa. But motherhood is a hood. Like it's hood. It's the best hood, but it's hood. And we do not have all the answers. And 5 years in, I am still watching my child grow and develop. It's literally like it's happening overnight. And sometimes I literally sit in awe. Sometimes I sit in tears because I'm beating myself up about something. And then I come out of it. And sometimes I sit back and I'm like, God really blessed me with a little one to take care of. And I am going to do my damnedest to make sure that I'm whole so that he can be whole. So that I can pour into him. And had I not been self-aware and addressed some of the things that were happening to me or some of the things that I've experienced in life, had I not addressed those, I wouldn't be able to be a whole mommy for him. 5 years in, my child is talking my head off. But we are grateful. We are grateful because everybody doesn't have that problem. And with him talking my head off, I get to learn and hear the things that he's learning about. A lot of times I'm like, where did you learn that word? How did you learn to use that word? Where did you get this? Who taught you this? Children are literally sponges. And while a lot of us say that and know that, they're sponges. A lot of the stuff that I tell him, like I tried to teach him about, or I teach him about friendship, right? Everybody doesn't have to be your best friend. They can just be your classmates, or they could just be cool people. They don't have to be your best friend. Never knew he listened until one day I asked who he played with. He gave me the list and he said, and I said, well, what happened to so-and-so, so-and-so? He said, I mean, I'm telling you about my friends. You told me everybody doesn't have to be my best friend, so I'm not telling you about those people. Okay, bet. Didn't know you were listening. I'm glad you did. Continue with your story. The sponge part is one of the hardest parts because I'm not a gentle parent. I'm an intentional parent. And that whole do as I say, not as I do thing, sometimes I'm like, how many times you think a child gonna watch you do and them not repeat it? So there are things about the things that I do, especially at this young impressionable age, that I have to be mindful of because he is watching. And I can see that he's watching because things will get mimicked. Words will get repeated. Phrases will get said. And I'm like, oh, I know where that came from. Check yourself. It's not an easy hood to travel through. It's not. And at this tender age of 40, it's joyful. Watching my child experience life, like I wish I could see it through his lens, but watching him enjoy the smallest things bring me joy. We went for his birthday trip. We went to Tennessee, to Dollywood. We went to a hotel. Mind you, he has been going to hotels. We have been going out of town for his birthday for years. He's been in a hotel. He's been on several airplanes. Like it's not new, but for him, it's exciting every single time. He done went back and told these folks we bought a new house. He's talking about the hotel. He went to school and told the people we bought a new house. I had to come to the school to tell the people we did not move. We did not purchase a new home. But for him, that couple days stay somewhere else was the most enjoyable. Mind you, we went to a amusement park. But the stay somewhere else outside of our, in his words, our real home was the most exciting thing for him. These are the things that I am grateful for and why I am happy that I had a child in let society tell it geriatric pregnancy and I'm a geriatric parent. But, we here. I'm grateful to have that God allowed me time to learn myself, time to address my traumas, time to be comfortable with who I am in my skin, and allow me to have a baby later on in life. If you at any point feel like you're getting close to 40 and you don't have a kid and you don't know what you're going to do you know how many women I know out there 40 plus still having babies? First of all, they look the fuck good. Secondly, you can tell the difference in the way that the children are being raised. At this point, we're the more mature parents. And I am A-okay with that. I feel good about that. I do. It makes me feel grown, because I am. Motherhood has been a journey. And while I was extremely nervous when I found out I was pregnant, because I'm a control freak, and so I had a plan. God, that plan went out the window. Okay, let's start there. But having a child, experiencing a pandemic during pregnancy, having a baby in the hospital where it's only you and your partner. Nobody can come in. Nobody can come experience this with you. You giving birth with a mask on. Like, these are things that people had never experienced before. And our kids are out here thriving. Now, they say the COVID babies are a bit different. I've been told at the school that these kids in pre-K this year, they're different. I don't know how different they are because this is all I know. This is it. So no matter how different they are, they've had some, they've had some experiences. They had to wear masks in daycare at times. Like, yes, they're going to be different. Their parents are different. Okay? But they're good. They are, while they did not get the social part, which is the difference that people are saying, like, they weren't socialized, they weren't, and my baby went to daycare, so I don't really know what y'all talking about, but we gon', they didn't have the social aspect, in babyhood or infancy or whatever. And I can see that to an extent, but the kids that I see now, the ones who being raised intentionally, they're good. Socially, they're good. Hell, maybe they don't want to talk to you. These kids have boundaries these days because this is what the parents are teaching them, because I'm teaching mine to say no. And that used to be taboo. But how expect you to say no in 10 years to somebody if you can't say no now? So the kids these days have boundaries. They have them early. They have them at 3, 4, and 5. If you don't want to do something, let me know. Respectfully. If you don't like something, let me know. Because you have a voice. Yeah, these kids might be a little different. It's cool. It's okay. We are enjoying this life together. We are on this journey together. So 5 years in, at 40 years old with a 5-year-old, I think I'm doing a damn good job. And I am grateful to be a mommy. I am happy that God chose that little one just for me. I am grateful for my community. My community is not just my close-knit friends and my family. My community is also my social media family. Like, the people that I grew up with, but we don't physically see each other, but we see each other on social media. I'm able to ask them questions. I'm able to, like, view what they got going on and say, oh, I'm not the only one. My child ain't the only one jumping off sofas. My community is large, and it's critical for me and mine. I am grateful to all of you that have contributed to this 5-year journey. It is a blessing to be here. It is a blessing to be able to make decisions about my career and what I want, because I know what I can give there and I know what I want to give here. And if I can't give my all right here, I need to push away from this. Simple as that. But I'm able to make that kind of decision. I'm comfortable with making that kind of decision. Because I'm a 40-year-old mommy. I've been out in these streets. Okay? That's it. That's all. I hope y'all enjoyed my little mamahood chat. It took me about a week to make it because I have been emotional. While I don't necessarily show emotion, watching my baby just grow and watching him, knowing that he's going to big people school and has been a lot. But I wanted to have an impromptu chat about my motherhood journey, what motherhood has taught me, and how grateful I am to have a community of people that support me and who support my child and my family, and without a doubt will always be there. I'm grateful. With that said, I hope that your journey is a good one. I hope that if you don't have community, you find it. I hope that if you're not confident in your ability, like I want you to be 10 toes down in, I'm going to make the decision for me and mine. And if it's not the right decision, make another one. The imposter syndrome about if you can't, let that out the door. Okay? Because your babies are watching. The babies watch. And when I mean babies, I mean the babies watch. Okay? If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. And I will be back next week. Y'all have an awesome day.